We're gonna put an Amazon diesel heater in a cargo trailer. Let's get into it. All right, diesel heater getting installed in this cargo trailer to haul snow bikes. Right, first thing, we needed both fronts, left and right, open to have ski tips come into the very front. So the center or far side was our only option. We didn't want to waste a bunch of heat heating the wall, so center it is. And then to not take up a whole bunch of track, we're actually going to stack. We opted to put the battery at the front, and then this guy is going to sit on a steel frame like so, and the exhaust will go down through the floor, and ta-da! We'll put a little charging station up here on the wall, and we'll put a through plug in the side of in the front of the trailer, so you just plug an extension cord in it. It'll automatically turn a battery charger on and charge this deep cycle marine battery. But now, and first, once we got our little layout set up roughly where we want it, we're gonna put the exhaust in first, and then this will build everything off of where the exhaust goes through the wall. It's kind of like my little homemade through wall chimney. We'll put a piece of pipe down the center of it so that the hot exhaust pipe doesn't actually touch the wood. It's like a little insulator pipe. We're gonna poke it down through the floor right there. Before I drill any too crazy of a hole, it's always a good idea to get underneath and just double check it is where I think it is. So here's our drill bit. So I'll also poke down and just come across the side of the trailer. We're rolling with a hole saw a little bigger than this. We don't want to, try not to light the floor on fire is the idea. Like so. So with this guy set in, we need to check our depth underneath. Back under the trailer, you can see our insulator pipe hanging down. It's basically flush with the bottom of the trailer, which is perfect. This will be our actual exhaust pipe. We're gonna slide it up. We want a 90 on it. I can actually put it together. Got my whole mocked up exhaust pipe under here. So 1/2 inch down pipe, 1/2 inch 90-degree elbow, 1/2 inch union, to 1/2 inch updeucer to 3/4 inch main exhaust pipe. These little Chinese heaters don't like a lot of restriction in their exhaust. Not that this distance would be a big issue, but I just figured more better, more bigger. So we're gonna slide it up here to the bottom of the trailer. It hits the frame. I don't want it to actually touch the frame, I just want it to be really close to the frame. Then we can just drop it down a little bit. Just get an idea how far I want this pipe to stick out. The other pipe, I'm actually gonna weld it down here on the bottom. So this is all kind of just estimating, but we're gonna weld it right along this line here. Okay. Now we can take it all out and weld it up on the bench. Surely somebody's going to say something about how crappy that weld job is, and yes, not the finest work, but this is definitely not my finest work, nor does it need to be. It just needs to hold this pipe to that pipe. It's an exhaust heater. It's not structural. Don't worry about it. and I could lay a big fat bead all the way around it and clean it up. It's flux core, it's not gonna be pretty, really. But the more you weld this pipe to this pipe, the more heat will get transferred into this pipe, heating the floor up. So I don't want to weld all the way around. I just need it heavy tacked so it doesn't break off from road vibrations. But this way, it doesn't transfer all the heat through. It'll transfer some, but what are you gonna do? There's still an air gap all the way around it. So, and then there's a couple little vent holes down here where my tapping failed. And here we go, through wall. For a cargo trailer. Don't do this in your house, please. Back in the cargo trailer. Sag goes through here, it'll get screwed down. Just gonna set my heater back on top. Check our little exhaust pipe clearance. Oh, which is perfect. Have nice, the little factory exhaust it comes with will go about this far. Next up, we need to build a frame to hold this battery and to hold this guy up on top. So I guess we'll start on that. To come up. Frame. It's going to sit on top. Then I need to come up, over, and back down up here somehow. I definitely made these too long. See that? However, a little long is okay. A little extra protection for stuff. So it might actually. Where's our heater? Yeah, it actually comes out pretty far. Now what I need to do is a way to hold this battery down. Getting in the way of everything. Maybe just something like that. Threaded rod, wing nut. That's what I'm thinking. This is just for test fitting. Then I might actually build the back mount for the heater here off of this battery hold down. Just keep it from wobbling. Just take a piece of something, come across maybe. The front structure here is just going to be a simple up, over, and back down. And then maybe I'll just do flat across the back. Yep. I think that's where I'm at. You'd have to get the, unfortunately, to get the battery out, you'll have to take the heater out, but that's what happens when we're working in confined spaces. We got to stack stuff on top of each other. That's my plan anyways. Cut this nice V so that this guy will sit over this nice and sturdy. 2 holes, boom, pull the back of the heater down. So now I gotta get in here and notch this out. Angle grinder. Just like so. That was kind of dumb. I just put the camera on the block of wood that I need to hold the front end up. So. What we really need is our exhaust pipe to line up. There is some wiggle room on all of that. Does come with a flexible hose, so back here, slide our little piece underneath. That's where it's gonna roughly go. Mark this guy. I like it. This is the rough vision of what's going on. Obviously the block of wood will be gone, but hey, you could just mount it to a block of wood. This way we have ample space on each side for a snow bike ski. It's a V-nose trailer, so it's trying to wedge everything right to the front. And later in the video we'll go over my trailer setup and how I used a bit of a different. My trailer's flat nose front, and I have a workbench across the front, so I was able to put it under the bench, but we'll go through that later. And if you like this, if you could do me a big favor now and hit the subscribe button, if you could do me a big favor right now and hit the subscribe button down below, it'd mean the world to me. Thank you. Oh yeah. It's the base of our battery hold down bracket right there. So So this is the basic layout from inside the trailer, battery, and then the heater all goes above this. So just relay it out on the shop floor and we'll get her welded up. Okay, exhaust pipe shortened. Got a hose clamp for the bottom, fancy. Comes with a hose clamp for the top, also not fancy. I don't really know, there's a whole bunch in here. Doesn't really matter. I might just, you know what? These are pretty chintzy. I might just go with the big dog. See if I got a better, proper size hose clamp in the shop. At least this way, if you have to take it apart, you're not chasing two different size clamps or bolts. At least you can just, you know, 5/16, 8 mil or something. Way to go. So let's slide. Let's put them both on here now. Try and slide this. There we go. That slides up there nice. Pick the whole heater up. Slide it like that. Good thing about pipe thread is it's tapered. Well, it works out pretty well. Bolts are all messing with me. Slide you down there, just like so. Ah, a little wiggly jiggly. Okay. Take that exhaust pipe up. Kind of annoying thing with this little steel frame versus the other heaters is it sticks down pretty far. Hindsight, my heat shield probably could be higher. What you gonna do? What a difference one of these little heaters in a cargo trailer makes. I know it's sleeping in this trailer, like, well, maybe worst case, I mean, you never know. Stuck somewhere, you could, and this would make your night a whole lot nicer, but basically, yeah, just for melting off snow bikes. But also handy, like in the fall, if you're dirt biking or something, do a little camping maybe. That's what I use mine for. Mostly snow bikes though. Okay. The bonus with this style is we're pulling clean air from in the cargo trailer. Not sure if I mentioned that or not, but these things don't like to suck in dirt and snow and garbage, which underneath the cargo trailer, if you tow it down the road, is what you're going to get, because you're very low to the ground, and they fill up with snow very quickly. So, the idea is, it sucks air from inside, lasts longer, more bueno. More better. Okay, we're just going to kind of center this little guy for maximum stuff. Maximum not burning the floor, essentially. And we'll get her all screwed down. Couldn't find another wing nut. Hardware store was out, so it gets one nut. So going in under the front of the trailer here. See our exhaust pipe poking out. And we're gonna start with thread this guy on. Hopefully it will be tight, roughly where we need it. Oh yeah, perfect. Where are we gonna come out with this guy? Just tighten all these guys on. Doesn't need to be crazy tight. It's not sealing water, and it will rust and stick after it gets hot. So really, really hand tight is good. Okay. And then figure out where we want our exhaust to come out. On the upside, underneath. And obviously, I had to come past the trailer, so I think I'm just gonna poke it. And I'll probably just cut the extra off. Yeah. What do we got under here? Just gonna hold it up a little bit with a bracket. Of course, it's really close to that electrical that goes under there. We'll just leave it down. Okay, then we need to need a bracket to hold this guy up. Basic hand tools. I have a mounting bracket. Gonna pop a couple holes to mount it to the frame, probably with self-tappers. It's even got a little anti-corrosion oil goop on the back. And away we go. Thought about using steel for this, but it's an aluminum frame trailer and it will just rust, corrode. Pop the bolts out, and away we go. So I had this old dirt bike skid plate kicking around. So I use that. Ugly? Yes. Functional? Yes. Poke holes. Back under the trailer we go. Have our bracket. Slide it over our exhaust. Like so. And attach it. We'll just hold it up just a little bit. Get that screwed in. Safety glasses for sure. I could actually go like way more. Maybe I'll go way more angle. Then I don't have to cut the end of the exhaust off. That would make sense. Just gonna have it stick out like 2 inches. It gets me a little farther away from that electrical. Something like so. We cut this hole way bigger than we needed to put it on an angle. Now we're gonna use the drill very close to my face. Let's see here. Camera down. Camera up. Camera. Turn back on. Ta-da. So, sticks out about 2 inches. Hold it up just a little bit. Hopefully we can get the drill in here. Self-tapper right through the frame. Okay, just like so. Close-up shot of this for you guys. Here we have it. I mean, hold it up. That's it. Yeah, ta-da. Exhaust down. There's actually more room than this. Quite a bit of room in that. Won't get that hot this far away from it. The diesel heater anyways. And we're done under the trailer. So with our exhaust finished up outside and our heater bolted down inside, all that's left is the electrical. We could just hook the wires up to the battery, which we're gonna do right now, and this thing's good to go. You could just throw a car charger in here every once in a while, top this battery up. But we're gonna wire everything in so you can just plug it in from the outside, charger fires up, and you'll have 110 power inside. From the outside, it'll just have this socket stick on the outside of the trailer, so you just plug a extension cord receptacle into it. I just need to find a place to put it. I think I want all my electrical like in this area, in the left front of the trailer, kind of under the shelf. There's still a good chunk of space right here. And on this side, it might be a little more protected, kind of under the shelf. So I think I'm gonna put the plug quite low. Hopefully have it poke in like right here. I can run my power bar and everything will mount on the inside here. And then yeah, just put the charger and everything, kind of tuck it all right up here nice. All right, we were pretty close. I circled here, we poked through here. I'll take it. Now we go through with this. One hole. This is the tricky part with these trailers is there's nothing in here. It's just 2 inches of nothing. Got a piece of plywood here and we're going to cut around it and make a little backing plate. Okay, I think this is going to work. Get these slid in there, screwed in. Oh, here's our plug receptacle wired up to our power bar. Plug, and I'll show you that on the inside here in a minute. So I just get a long power bar and cut the end off. Now we're gonna screw this in. The problem with the cargo trailer is there's a giant gap usually between the outer wall and the inner wall. So I had to put a spacer in there. And then I'm going to try and squeeze one more spacer in there, at least on one side, and then screw it all together. Small nightmare, but we'll get it together. If you cut a bigger hole in the inside, you could build a little frame, or you could screw it to the panel, but this is where I'm at. All right, got the small spacer stuffed in there. Now it's only on half, but it's without cutting a huge hole, you really can't get all the way around. So it'll have good firm attachment on this side and this side. It's a little flimsy, but at least you'll be able to push it in and have a good positive feel. So let's get this guy installed now. And there's our plug socket. Come out pretty good. There she is. Pretty sleekly installed, I would say. Let's go back. It's time to move to the inside where hopefully we can turn the heat on because it's getting cold. It's like -5 outside right now. And this dumbass is in shorts. Working by shop light here. So this is what we got on the inside. Everything's hidden inside that wall pretty good. Get our power bar here. So I just get a power bar with a fairly long cord and cut it off. Get it to sit nicely, I think. Just like that. Should do the trick. Yeah, I like it. Go ahead and shorten these power wires up here. It's not the biggest deal, they're a little long, I guess. And for the sake of easier wiring, time to put a little fuel in this heater. Empty DEF jug with the spout makes a killer little pour jug. It's the only thing about having a fuel tank on the inside of the trailer is if you spill fuel on the floor, especially a wood floor, it's basically there forever. You're not going to get the diesel back out of it. So you got to be super careful pouring it, or else your trailer's going to stink like diesel. So I like my tank on the outside. You want the tank on the inside. It does make for an easier install. Let's have a look. So, a little recap. Our power cord comes through the wall, just runs up to our power bar. As soon as you plug into shore power or your house extension cord power, this power bar lights up, which powers this battery charger, which charges our battery. The bonus is if you're plugged in somewhere, you have a generator running, you've got 110 voltage inside your trailer. You've also got USB, USB-C chargers. So if you're at home, you know, for the weekend or at your rental, whatever, you can put all your GoPros, radios, whatever, you can have a nice little charging station set up. So with the battery charger mounted here, it's on a quick strap. You just pull this Velcro strap off, the charger unclips, then you have all this cord, plus all this cord, and you can change to these alligator clips and then charge a bike at like the back of the trailer, outside the trailer, whatever you need to do. You're not stuck with that charge. Okay, round 2 on fire up. You can hear it chooching the life. You hear the burn. Let's go check the exhaust outside. Going to poke at the side of the trailer. For anyone concerned about the battery getting too hot, yes, I did put a heat shield here, but I can also hold my hand back here, and like if you're a couple inches away, it's not that crazy hot. And it's cranked up on 5. It's been running here for about 10 minutes. She's plenty hot. It's not burning my hand, so no problem there. She'll be fine. All right, let's have a look at my cargo trailer. I didn't use the all-in-one heater option. It's the one that's everything's exploded, and it comes with a 10-liter separate tank. So I've got my tank mounted up front. Granted, I haven't used my cargo trailer for probably 2 seasons now, so she's a little neglected, but I got my fuel tank right up front so that when I'm hooked to my truck and I'm pumping fuel, I can quickly toss a little fuel in here if I need it. And if I spill any, it just doesn't go in my cargo trailer. Now this is my fuel pump. The rubber things rot off after a year or 2, so I need to throw a new one on there. And then these lines don't last very long. You can see it's dripping. It's made a little contamination zone there. But before I use it, I'll throw a new line on it. This has been great for a couple years. So fuel pump's out here. Fuel line runs inside. I have a generator in this box, and I run 2 batteries on this side that my electric start for my generator is hooked into, and then my heater is hooked into these. I got my charging port right here, hooked into a battery charger and whatnot. If you come around, my heater's right up in this front corner. Have a look under here. Might be a little hard to see. Now, my exhaust actually routed off. My exhaust comes out here, and then my intake loops back around into the trailer, because if I left it open, all the snow and road debris would end up in the heater, and then it wouldn't work. You can see my little fuel line there. Now, let's go inside the trailer and have a look. Oh, she's nothing too fancy inside. There's my heater on the floor. You can see right there my intake. So I'm pulling air from inside my trailer, that way I don't get any contaminated snow and crap up inside my heater. Then I got my heat vent. That's about it. I got my controller and everything over here. It's actually on a switch. This is live power for my batteries to run my lights and stuff. Put this guy on, fires up my heater, and you know, my whatnots. Battery chargers all mounted in the back side of this, so I just plug in the wall, fires this up. I got a volt gauge, switches, and my little controller. And for a trailer with no insulation, like, I don't know, we've camped in this trailer down to like -10 or so, and it's fine. -20, you'd be pushing it, you'd be huddled around that heater, but it's got aluminum roof and stuff. But with snow bikes, it's just perfect. Or you want to do some camping, she's perfect. So the nice thing is the diesel's on the outside of this setup, but there's a little more to it to setting up the heater. You know, the heater is harder to put in and plumb, but the exhaust is easier because it's on the outside. So there's pros and cons to both setups. I think if I was to do it again, I would lift my heater up and do it similar to that heater that we just installed, and have the exhaust go down through the floor. That way I don't have to run my intake, because I had it fall off and I've had the heater fill with snow. So, all right, if you found this video useful and you got some value out of it, if I could ask one favor, is to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it a ton, and you know, share in your comments what you've done with your heater setup, and we'll catch you on the next one.